How's it going, everybody? Brad Riley here, ready to talk to you about Madden Connected Franchise 16. But before that, we're going to do a quick recap of last year. What happened? We had 4 seasons that we went through last year with 3 champions. 1 champion winning twice. Both the first Super Bowl we go in, we get a winner in mush. Takes the whole league by surprise. Takes RG3 to the Super Bowl. How does he do it? I don't know, but that was the biggest surprise of the league for me last year. Season 2, owner, creator of the league, owner, creator of the name, CiB, Connected Franchise. We had the winner in Spencer. Took the Chicago Bears out of nothing with Johnny Money Manziel to the top. How did he do it? We all don't know, but he did it. That brings us to Season 3. We have a rookie rise through the ranks to take the Patriots from the bottom of the league to the top. We have Dylan come in, wreck the reigning champion Spencer in the Super Bowl. And he gets that glorious prize, the CiB Trophy Madden Connected Franchise 2015. That brings us on to the final season. What would happen? Who would win? Well, I tell you what, we had a repeat champion, not back-to-back, but from Season 1 to Season 4, we have Mush taking the championship by storm. And he took it with all the trials that he went through this season, all the adversity, people putting him down like he was nothing. And I tell you, he was nothing before this league. But anyways, he rose to the top, taking the trophy after he even had a game simulated because somebody thought all the games were played. But he won, he took it, and he is the champion. That brings us to week 1 of Madden Connected Franchise 16 CiB Open League. Here it is, folks. This is the start. Let's get into those stats. Let's see if we can have a new victor this season. We are up to, I don't remember, I think we had 2, 4, 6, 8. I don't remember how many, but it was a lot less people last year. But now, I believe we have 15 people in the league. It's either 15 or 16. Should be 2 per division, which would be 16. But I don't remember. We may only have 15. But anyways, we have a lot of fresh meat in this league. And we will see if they can rise to the top and become victorious, just like those champions of last year. Or will we see last year's champions continue to roll on top? Let's get into it, folks. Alright, everybody. Starting off week 1, we have the Steelers at the Patriots on Thursday Night Football. A game to remember, folks. This is the first game of the season. We have a new member taking over the Steelers. We have Parker, our rookie. Will he come in and beat the CPU? Well, he hands it to them with a score of 66-20. His quarterback, Andrew Luck, goes 22 for 38 for 544 yards with 8 touchdowns and 1 interception, with 284 yards to Sammy Watkins, who had 5 of the touchdowns. What a game to remember, folks. That is how you open your time in the league. Next, we move on to the Chiefs, who was picked up by Cody, playing his former team of the Texans. He takes them 20-17 away on the road, where we start off with his quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, going for 174 yards with a touchdown. But look at this, folks. He overcame 4 interceptions. Can you believe that? Next up, we have another newcomer to the league. In the AFC East, we have Ricky, who is taking over the Dolphins. And in Dolphin fashion, unfortunately, Ricky went under to the Redskins. He had a pretty decent game, though, with his quarterback, Austin Davis. 10 for 34. Not the best, but he still threw for 272 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Nice start, Ricky. Maybe you can come back from this. that brings us to our first head-to-head matchup, the Panthers at the Jaguars. Brian versus Brad, myself. How would that game go? Unfortunately, it did not go in my favor this time. The score was 45-7, but the stats wouldn't necessarily show that. Alex Smith went 9 for 15 for only 57 yards and a touchdown with 2 interceptions. That would cause worry to a lot of folks if you just heard that stat line. Whereas the Jaguars quarterback, Robert Griffin III, went 16 for 36 for 213 yards, a touchdown, but he had 4 interceptions. That is actually made up in the rush game for the Panthers. You have Adrian Peterson taking 15 attempts for 225 yards for 4 touchdowns. The Jags, on the other hand, could not get their running game together with just under 100 yards rushing. The defense was a big key in this factor. You have a defensive touchdown for the Panthers in the first quarter. It was a very simple first quarter. Panthers go up 35-0, and that was the game there. We have our second head-to-head matchup of the game with the Seahawks taking on the Rams. That is Spencer versus Joseph. How would that game go? Well, we have two quarterbacks who, honestly, people don't know too much about. We have Brett Hundley on the Seattle Seahawks going 17 for 28, 228 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Pretty average game, decent game, whatever. But then you have the Rams, Kellen Moore on the other side, going 30 for 43 for 293 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Very, very well matched, and that reflects in the scoreline with the Seahawks losing away on the road 17-24. Our third matchup, head-to-head matchup within the league, we have the Lions at the Chargers. Lions, former champion Dylan versus Mush, former 2-time champion. We have 2 quarterbacks who, well, technically we had 3 in this game, but we have on the Lions Colin Kaepernick coming out 18 for 30. What a pretty decent stat line. 250 yards, 3 touchdowns, but 3 interceptions. And then on the other side, we had a duo combo of Colt McCoy, who only took 2 snaps, with Geno Smith coming in 7 for 15, 102 yards. We see that the game was quite different, though. A very heavy rushing game. Le'Veon Bell coming in 5 attempts for 84 yards, 1 touchdown. And then on the other side, we have big numbers. Geno Smith, 13 rushing attempts for 104 yards. And then Todd Gurley coming in 18 attempts for 96 yards with a touchdown. We also have Colt McCoy rushing for a touchdown as well. This was a close game, folks. It came down to the wire. 2-point difference, 28-30. Lions go down in a close thriller. We have another close head-to-head matchup. We have the Titans at the Buccaneers. User Zach against the computer. And how would he do? Well, folks, here it is. 29 Titans, Buccaneers 30. 1-point difference. What a heartbreak. We have 2 quarterbacks for the Titans coming in. We have Kirk Cousins, 8 for 26 for 177 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Whereas Sam Bradford also came in then, 4 for 10, 82 yards. That was his stat line. Whereas on the other side, you had a phenomenal game for Jameis Winston. 25 for 35, 342 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I have never seen a CPU go like that at all before, but that was that game for you folks. And we move on to our next game, Ravens at Broncos. Let's see how they fare. We have Brian in the league taking Peyton Manning, 34 for 54. We can see that is a pass-heavy game, 343 yards, because he can pass that. 1 touchdown, but 3 interceptions. And that's where it hurt him, folks, because Nick Foles comes in from the other side, 8 for 11, 225 yards, 4 touchdowns, only 1 interception. That's the game for you there. 14 Ravens to 34 Broncos. Next, we have the showdown of showdowns. This was an exciting game, folks. You have the New York Giants at the Cowboys for a first week showdown for the NFC East, where we actually have 3 people this year. So, to start it off, we have 2 quarterbacks coming in who are established. We have Eli Manning versus Matthew Stafford. How would they fare? Well, Eli Manning comes in for 22 for 61, 600 yards with 7 touchdowns, but 6 interceptions. On the other side, you have Matthew Stafford coming in 40 for 64, 566 yards, 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. These are just crazy yards to start off the year. And then from there, no rushing attempts by the Giants. All of their plays were passing. Then we have just under 50 yards for the entirety of the defense. And that'll do it. Final in Dallas, 46-61. Giants losing in a memorable fashion with that 600-yard game. And the last 2 games of the week, User versus CPU. We have newcomer Will as the Eagles taking on the Falcons. Eagles top 24-21 with Marcus Mariota going 17 for 25 for 254 yards with 2 touchdowns. And then to wrap up the week, Monday night, we have alumni Elliott with the Vikings topping the Niners 31-17. Russell Wilson 22 for 38, 310 yards with 4 touchdowns. And that will do it for this week, folks. Join us next week for week 2, where we will take on the numbers and see who can continue their winning ways. See if we can have some people swish it up, mix it up, see if they can come from the bottom to the top. That is it for week 1. Have a good one.